It says on live.
10.
Just wait for YouTube to catch up.
Yeah.
As usual.
You're on your way.
Yeah. Just says waiting. Yep, that's all working. And here, let's change that over again. See how long the better camera lasts for a while. There we go. Well, good evening, people. Jen, Stuart's had to go out. He did drop a comment before he went, so he may be back. But I am a bit fatigued tonight. I've had a lot going on. I've had some more bloods taken today, which I'll give a bit of an update on that shortly. Good evening, Scar. How you doing? We may have some new ones drop in tonight. Now I'm on X. One or two more people are seeing what I've been posting as I post on there as well. So hopefully we might get one or two of those in as well. Good evening, Marines. Hope you're good, bud. Jen, obviously. But yeah, it's been a busy old week. It's been a busy old week for Comrade, isn't it? Jetting all over the world again and getting absolutely dismissed by the Europeans by the sounds of it. With one of the officials, actually German, I think he was, just walking out. Didn't want to have nothing to do with the idiot. And today, I believe, he's flown to America to get another roasting from Trump, hopefully. You know, if anybody's going to make a fool of him, it'll be Trump. But he seems to be pissing everybody off at the moment. The only one that seems to actually want him and is hanging out of his ass is Zelensky. And that's only because everybody else is starting to defund Zelensky. With what was posted today and yesterday, we can see why. Now, I can't verify it, but apparently there's 33 billion pound. Was it 33 or 3 billion? 3 billion pound that can't be accounted for. Good evening, Karen. And he spent over 33 million on a property portfolio in Florida. I wonder why that is. Would Trump allow him to stay there? I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, Karen, I'm slowly figuring out how to use Twitter. I'm able to post and get into the comments and that now. I didn't know that the first day. I was all over the bloody place, but I'm getting used to it. But we've got Rachel from accounts again now, destroying the country. We've seen the interest rate go up now to 3, I think it is, which is not good. Many outlets are saying this is the least viable country for anybody to invest in now. Well, we've been saying that ever since she started, haven't we? She's going to kill the place. And now she's facing, I think it was reported as another 300,000 jobs that will be lost in this country. And they're still saying they're putting more money in people's pockets. Well, yeah, but not the right people. The ones that are gaining from it are the big earners. Little businesses are shutting down. Even some of the big businesses are shutting down. I mean, there must be at least a dozen shops of varying outlets. Good evening, Tony. Up in the town here now, where the properties are vacant. Whether that's due to the economy or the fact that they're going to revamp the place, I don't know. But there are companies all over the country that are disappearing. They're not hiring anymore, those that are keeping going. Some are even getting rid of a lot of people, which makes no sense because the extra she's going to gain from the extra taxes she's put on, she's going to lose more by having to pay benefits for those people that are out of work. By the time April comes around, when everything that they're talking about becomes live, as it were, then there's going to be hell up. I can see the economy collapsing totally because she's inept. She just hasn't got a clue. She really hasn't. She's been caught lying again on a CV, along with what was his name? Jonathan Reynolds, the business secretary. Apparently he stood in the House and said, I used to be a solicitor. Well, by all accounts, he never has been. He's not on their records. And again, I can't clarify it. I haven't seen any proof, but somebody said he actually failed the entrance exam, which wouldn't surprise me in the least. I mean, Labour now is just a den of corruption. We thought Boris and Roland Rat were a swamp. Nothing compared to these fucking clowns. But so I'm just going through the usual, making a few notes because I didn't do a video today. The hospital thing here in Birmingham over the stabbing. Now, I had a little nurse come out to see me today to take more bloods. And she wouldn't say a lot. To be honest, they've obviously been told to keep quiet. But apparently there was a disturbance at A&E. All the police have said it went into lockdown, the hospital. But that's all the police are saying because it looks like another cover-up. Which, good evening, Gordo. Which to me points as the either the stabbing or the attack is racial or religion related. Because you can guarantee if they were white English people, the police would have been putting out names and all sorts. But at the moment, they're just covering things up. They're quite happy to ask for people to step forward as witnesses, but they're not giving anybody any reason why they should come forward, as usual. We've seen this pattern before. Obviously, the big one was Southport, but in many other ones as well, in London. Like the covering up of Ricky Jones, the one that said, all infidels should be done away with. Apparently, they put his case back now till, I think it was August. So that's another one that they're going to try and hide. Unbelievable. And the big news this week is they're going to change the laws on knives again. It's particularly, excuse me while I have a scratch, particularly over online orders, where they're now threatening people who sell them. I believe he's been let out, Gordo. I can't say that, so only alleged. But I haven't seen any reports. That's what I mean. They're just hiding it all. But finding somebody who sells a knife to an under 18-year-old in a shop, or threaten them with 2 years in jail even, which is what they're saying. Now, if someone walks into the shop, they ask for ID if they're buying a knife. Now, how easy is it for some little scrote to forge ID? I mean, fuck me, we were doing it years ago to get in nightclubs. Yeah, that's the thing, Scar. Every household has got a knife of some description. Even if they're just eating knives, they can be sharpened up. They can have a point ground on them. They can be used. We've got proper chef knives. I've got a few £100 worth of chef knives, and I sure as hell ain't cutting the fucking points off of them with the money I paid for them. But it's down to what I always said. They're looking at this wrong. They're not looking at the root causes. Knives don't kill people, the same as guns don't kill people. It's the person that's got them in their hands. That's who kills people. So until they get the root cause. Now, the other thing, Shane Stewart's gone actually because he could verify this. Now, a lot of these stabbings are in the neck that happen. Now, how can I put this within the rules? There's only one place you can learn vulnerable points of the body for hand-to-hand combat is the army or forces anywhere in the world. It's accessible. It's very least protected part of the body. And they tell us these guys aren't military trained that are coming into this country. You can make your own mic up for that. Kitchen murders paradise with a knife rack over. Yeah, I have Gordo. I've got I can't remember the fucking names of them now. I've got one global out there. That was £200 on its own. And the other ones, they used to be used commercially, but they're not allowed to anymore because they're wooden handles, which can harbour bacteria. But, cutting the point off a knife, it doesn't make it safe. Yeah, exactly, Scar. It's like everything else. It's like when they ban things. It just opens up a whole new black market and brings to the front a whole load of new criminals. We complained years ago. We used to use knives at work on the grounds, pruning knives, all sorts of things. Same on the farm. And then they banned lock knives. Well, lock knives are safe. A folding knife with no locking mechanism can cost you a finger. Yeah, exactly. The police won't be able to do nothing. It's too prevalent, Scar. Yeah, exactly, Gordo. Mine is only a small one when I'm fishing, but you need to cut bait. You can't do it with scissors. Evening moot. When you filleting fish, admittedly now, since all this shit has come out, I don't leave it on the board with the bait. Once I've cut up my bait, it goes back in its sheath and it goes back in the box. And the box is in view all the time. Nobody can get in there without me seeing. But are they going to come round and stop fishermen carrying them? We don't openly carry them. And especially with a filleting knife, again, they're razor sharp. If you don't use them right, you can do yourself a lot of damage. But they might stop sales on things like Amazon. They said, that they're going to ban the samurai swords and the zombie knives. Well, I thought the Tories done that a year or so ago. They put new laws in place covering them, making it illegal to manufacture them, sell them, buy them, own them. So Amazon, if they're still supplying them, and other outlets. Exactly, Gordo. It's the same with farmers and guns. They brought in ridiculous laws over reissuing the licenses. they've almost trebled the license fee, which if the farmer needs one, they will have to pay. But doing that is ridiculous, because if you're using it for a crime or you're a criminal, you're not going to register it. You're not going to buy a license for it. You're not going to go through the tests. So all they're doing is penalising genuine people that need them for work, for pest control. And they're penalising the people that actually do go and buy licenses, the responsible ones. Yeah, I mean, I gave mine up years ago. Literally, once I'd moved out the rural areas into the towns and cities, I didn't need one, so I voluntarily handed mine in. Yep, there's that, and there's also the Scottish dirk as well, Scar. Those in traditional dress. I believe they usually carry it in a sock, if I remember rightly. I mean, the law used to be, in my day, you could carry any knife on your belt as long as it was openly displayed and not hidden. You know, that went out the window quite a few years ago. But, you know, it was a big moment in a kid's life back then, when his father bought him his first penknife, his first pocket knife. It was a big thing for a kid back then. I mean, everybody had them, but we had no urge to go around and stick them in people. You know, it's... Yeah.
If I don't react to something, it's because my computer's doing an update or something.
All right. I don't know whether you guys heard that. She said it very quietly. If she doesn't react to anything in the chat for a minute, her computer's having a hissy fit. It's doing an update.
I also meant regarding trolls and things.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. I'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, that's why I'm warning you.
Yeah. And believe it or not, Scars, I have still got the first penknife my father ever bought me, and the first sheath knife I ever bought for myself. It's that thin and worn out. It's basically useless. You know, I've had the thing for, well, best part of 50 years, probably longer. But I've still got the original folding knife, the pocket knife that my father bought me. I think I was 11, maybe a bit younger, because I used to work on the farm at weekends alongside him. I've actually still got that. Yeah, I know plenty of girls that did as well, Jim. You know, they're not tackling the root cause. Most of these people that are using them, especially the main attacks, I don't mean these fights in towns and that. Good evening, Hunter. But the main attacks where, you know, young girls are getting done and stuff like that. We know the root cause of that. We know where it comes from. And again, it's something both parties, Tories and Labour, have let happen by letting certain people come in the country and leaving them free to wander the land, basically. Yes, it was, Scar. When you had to show your kit when you went on camp, you had to lay it out in front of you, and if you didn't have a pocket knife or a sheath knife, you were told to go and get one.
Dib, dib, dib.
Dib, dib. Stab, stab. But there was no mass killings or anything about it, you know.
I did Duke of Edinburgh's. I wasn't allowed to do scouts and shit like that.
I mean, I never did scouts. But, I did my training a little bit later, and I actually paid for it to learn what I know. Well, I was just getting on to that, Moo, because literally, if by some miraculous reason they could do away with everybody carrying knives, they're going to revert back to the old thing, sharpen sticks.
If you look back, darling, to about 5 down from the top. Mo put, in the right hand, the pointy stick is more deadly than a knife. And I said, that's just what Roger said earlier.
I mean, it is getting ridiculous. Oh, my computer's slowed up now as well. But, hey, good evening. Yes, I just checked you out. I think I know who you are. My 11-year-old has his own rifle, slingshots and knives. He's responsible for all of them. Does bushcraft. Yeah, I mean, until I fell ill, I used to do a lot of bushcraft. Both me and Mrs. W were regulars up the air rifle range. She has a beauty, actually, a nice HW. Well, she's got two. She's got a collector's one as well, a hand-built British one.
But yours is a collector's one as well.
Oh yeah, one of mine is a collector's one.
Imported into the country.
Yeah, and that is the problem. It's a lack of parenting, and I mean, yeah, we had to be back in by the time the street lights came on. Now most of the kids don't go out till the street lights come on, and they're just running feral on the streets. Now, the parents should be putting a stop to that. Like with the electric bikes, the illegal ones, I will say. Those bloody things could be £4,000 or £5,000. Where are these young kids getting the money to buy them from? Or are they just stealing them?
Just borrowing.
Yeah, those that don't know, is a new follower of my channel. I have spoke to her briefly through chat, away from YouTube on X, simply to get round the silly censorship, because we were talking about things. Paulette, good evening, sweetheart. Yeah, I mean, if the kids want to hurt a kid, they're always going to find some way of doing it. Like I say, if it's not a knife, it could be a sharpened stick. Another one they're using now is carrying metal bars about, which if you're caught with it down your trouser leg, obviously they're going to class it as a hidden offensive weapon. If John can identify as a woman, then my dog can identify as a dog. Yeah, but think about this, Gordo. How many genders do they offer on gender reassignment? Says it all, doesn't it? Tony, good evening, mate. Yeah, pencil, that was an old one. Same as perspex, sharpened perspex, stick it in, snap it off. They're all what they used to call prison tricks, obviously, because weapons, shivs as they're called in prison, makeshift weapons. That was the favourite things there, was stick it in, snap it off. And I don't know that from experience. I just know it. Yeah. Yeah, compass isn't going to do too much damage though, Jem. I stuck one straight through my hand at school once. My God, I put a chisel through my hand first day of lockdown.
That did more damage.
Went straight in there and came out there. I didn't bother going to the hospital. It was clean. I just cleaned it and sharpened it. So I just pulled it out and treated the wound, basically. That's the problem, Scar. The schools aren't teaching it, and the parents aren't disciplining them. I mean, the amount of times, I got a good, well, I won't say beating, but
hiding was
I got a good hiding every time the police came around when I was young. Well, teenager. But the compass will run circles around you.
Oh, no.
Hey, you'll have to get used to the people in here. There's some beautiful weirdos. And believe it or not, Mumua there, he's actually a vicar. He's one of my subscribers that I have met in person.
Is it vicar or priest, Moo?
Oh,
I can't remember.
Yeah, what is your rank in the profession? I'll call it, Moo.
No, he's been ordained
But,
as something.
But no, he's a real nice guy. I've met him up in Liverpool. He's glued to computers. That's the thing, Gordo. Now, you think about what we used to do as kids. You'd be out, you'd be on your bike, you'd cycle for 10, 15 mile, and you never batted a bloody eyelid. Half of them now, they just become incels. That nothing else around them is happening. Door closer.
Oh, well. Oh.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as I said, my dad used to have a favourite stick. It was a rabbiting stick that he'd had for years. He did hit me one final time round the legs with it before I threw it up the conker tree. Got it stuck. But the backhanders I got and the slaps I got never did me any harm. And they made sure I remembered that I'd done wrong. I'm not saying I didn't do wrong things after I left home. But the things I got caught doing, the Lord did punish me for them. And rightly so. Rightly so. If ever I was caught doing whatever, it was hands up. Yes, sir. It was me, sir. Good evening, Paul. Well done on your live stream. First one last week, mate. Sorry I couldn't stay long. I was absolutely knackered. But, those kids are driven to school. Yeah, well, we literally live opposite the gate of a junior school. We've got a secondary school 50 yards up the road. And it's a no-go zone out here when they're picking the kids up. And there's a public car park around the corner as well.
They've got to pay for parking there.
Yeah, well, it should be free between certain times to allow for that.
Oh, yes, 100%. Yeah, if you're dropping your kids off, but then it causes absolute mayhem with people trying to get in and out of the frigging car park.
Yeah, that's what I said, Paul. When I contacted you beforehand, I said, we got people here. I didn't know what time they were going to leave. But once they had leave, I did make sure I dropped in for at least 20 minutes or so, just to give you that support.
I was in the background, Paul, as always.
Mrs. W was lurking in the background.
I thought it went quite well.
Oh, Scar, the headmaster at my school, had a cane with my name carved on it. The only time I pulled him up about it was I got accused of something I didn't do. He said he was going to give me 6 of the cane. I said, you touch me once with that, you're going to leave this school this evening with that little stick hanging out of your arse. And with that, I just walked out, slammed the door, and walked out of school. Didn't come back for 2 days. Nothing was said when I came back. But yeah, I told him, you touch me with that this time. I said, it's going to be hanging out your ass for the rest of the day.
But pardon me, back in the day, if you'd done something, being punished for being caught out was the accepted risk.
Yeah.
And yes, if you hadn't done it, but you were getting the blame, then no, sorry, you're not, no, I was innocent.
Oh, most of the time, yeah, I had done something, but a lot of the time it didn't warrant a cane or anything. I mean, I wrote a poem about the headmaster and the senior master's wife.
Was it a limerick?
Yeah. I'm trying to remember it now because my memory is still. I'm good on long term. That was it. Oh God, I've forgotten. It's gone straight out of my head again. Oh, that was it. With great interest, the headmaster undressed Mr. Dutton's wife to lie on. He thought it crude to do it nude, so he's left his old school tie on. And I actually put it in with the paperwork for me fucking English exam. Big mistake. That earned me 2 of the cane, that one. Yeah, you could do with a laptop, Paul. It's a shame the last one I had to give away went to another subscriber some time back. He was in having a real bad time of things and he was trying to use his phone, so I posted him off an old laptop I had. She's had to deal with something that says, yeah, no worries, Jen, tell her that's absolutely fine.
Thanks for passing that on, Jen.
Simon, you've been groomed. Yeah, I had a little bit of a scrape, mate. I'm growing the old face fungus again. You know, if you had a face looking like this, you'd grow one as well to try and cover it.
Should have seen the hell he went through when he shaved it off.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, the health update. Now, I had a blood test a week or so ago. And came back, the doctor rang me within a day that there could be an issue with my kidneys. Now, everybody or anybody with slight medical knowledge will know that kidneys are connected to your blood. They have a lot to do with your blood. I'll make it simple. And they think there's a bit of an anomaly going on. Christ, I said it first time. With my bloods, showing there's something wrong with my kidneys. So I'm possibly going to need more scans. The nurse came out today and actually took 6 vials out of me. Not next week, the week after, first week of March, I start 6 months of venous sections.
You won't need one now she's taken a ton out of you.
But, you know, I'm thinking, well, I've had blood tests for the last 10 years because it started with the blood clot on the brain. And my question is, if there's something wrong, why haven't you picked it up before? I have monthly blood tests anyway because of the polycythemia. And obviously the stroke didn't help. All right, Simon, no worries, mate. But yeah, it's a job to get them to pass on information to me about what's going on.
I wish it was a problem for Simon to pass on information. Thank you very much for that image, Simon.
I mean, that's something.
Oh, good grief.
See, I told you, hey, we got some very strange people in here. Yes, you can, Gordo, absolutely. But if this issue is concerning both of them, you know, I'm thinking, is that what's causing the polycythemia? Has the polycythemia caused a lot of the other issues? Because they all seem to be interconnected. And this is the bit the doctor can't get her head around. I keep trying to tell her that you can't pin the symptoms down because several of my conditions all have the same symptoms. So I don't know what's causing it. But she just can't seem to get that through her head for some reason. I don't know why. This is the one, if you remember, that I told you about, that as soon as I moved towards her in her office, she scuttled over to the corner with a mask on.
Because she's dumb as fuck.
But they want to change me meds again. And I told them that I will not be changing my meds until they've actually run it past the haematologist that I see. I've come to trust her. She's been open and honest with me. She's always answered any of my questions honestly.
But the thing is, because these meds are going to affect your blood, she needs to be aware.
Exactly. This, if they, because one of them, the amlodipine, is a blood thinner as well. Now, there's only 2 doses they can actually give you of amlodipine. It's either 5 mil or 10 mil. So effectively, they'll be doubling the strength of one of my blood thinners. And if that affects everything else, then it could screw me up even further. But I am suffering. The fatigue has been getting to me again lately, which is really weird considering I've been having sleepless nights. The cramps haven't been so prevalent since I had the last venous section a week or so ago. So I'm thinking there, well, my cramps in my muscles could be connected to the thick blood cells which they're removing. But nobody's telling me anything. And I will get it out the haematologist on my next appointment. I will ask her, but anyway, yeah, getting back to the point. That was me. Not so quick health update. Now, that was one they brought out today, the vaping, mainly with the kids. We know people my age, I quit smoking, but if I was still smoking, I'd be able to carry on smoking at my age until the day I die or the day it kills me. But they put things in place, which was started by old Shergar, Jacinda Ardern over there in New Zealand, to gradually phase out smoking with youngsters. Now, any kid that's 15 years old today, by the time they're old enough to legally buy ciggies, it will be illegal for them to buy them and smoke them.
The age will have
with the
increased.
progressive age banning. But now, yeah, I'm on about 4 different lots of blood thinners now, Scott. I have to do me blood pressures 8 times a day. It was up over 190 this morning after I watched a couple of videos on YouTube. Yeah, they're on about the vaping. Now, they're saying they're going to spend 52 million on a long-term study of what these things do to the body, he says. Taking a puff on one. But this is one of the better ones. They're quite expensive, but they don't give you a bad throat, or much of one. But 52 million on a long-term study on vaping. And the first thought that came into my head, well, you were quite happy to try and force people into taking a certain intervention, I'll call it, with hardly any studies at all. And as we know, without saying too much, it has damaged a few people to the point of them not being with us anymore. I can't elaborate on that because YouTube will just pull it down as misinformation. But the fact that we've lost people through it is actual medical fact. The medical industry has told us this. Big Pharma has told us this. Apparently they considered it acceptable losses. But there you go. But it does seem with all these new ones they're coming out with, the uptake now has dropped absolutely drastically. And I'm not surprised, to be honest. Funny how none of our politicians have fallen over with it, isn't it? Although they all profess to take it. Yeah, they're keeping their trap shut on that. But yeah, 52 million for a long-term study into vaping. I mean, they are going to ban the disposable ones anyway. And from what I've seen and reports I've looked at, and not an in-depth research, but looking closely, yeah, they are the worst ones. But what sort of money could they make if they make tapes totally safe? Yeah. Take the gin out the juice. Oh, that was the other one. They said low, slightly low on vitamin D. To which my reply to the doctor was, have you seen any fucking sun lately to get any?
Oh, but it might be down to you drinking.
Eh?
It might be down to you drinking.
What?
Didn't she
Yes.
blame you?
She tried to blame it on alcohol. So I haven't drunk alcohol for 15 years, love. So get off of that horse. Well, they say it does, Paul. They say it does. Now, I know, as you know, I worked in the hospital here for 10 years. And I had a lot of friends from all trades in there, right from maintenance guys to nurses, surgeons, doctors, even the porters, you know. And you used to get told a lot of things. And all I will say is, obviously, what mainstream media tell you, you can't believe. But as I tell everybody, and I always have done, if you think something's not right, don't take it. Do some research before you make the decision. Go and look for yourself, because I'll be honest, you can't even trust what people say on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You know, there's so many people out there putting out false information, and it doesn't always get picked up by the censors.
Sweet. Has my comment come up, or is it just
What, to Scar?
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
Oh, it's alright, it's not showing on my screen. Sorry.
But yeah, I've always advocated, go and do your own research. Look for yourself. You'll be surprised what information you can find. It takes a bit of digging if it's on government site, on YouGov.arsehole, whatever, because they do bury it behind a lot of pages, and you have to open quite a few things to find stuff. But it's all there. But you can't rely on the ONS anymore. They've always, well, for the last 2 years that I know of, they've totally changed the way they do things. It's not misinformation, don't get me wrong. I'm not accusing them of misinformation. What they're using is malinformation. They're giving you the facts, but not giving you all of them and twisting them to fit their own narratives. Like Starmer the other day, we've created 2 million more hospital appointments. Well, creating appointments doesn't mean to say people are being seen. That's not 2 million more people being seen. That's just making the space and extending the lists to add another 2 million too. Like what they do with the waiting times at A&E. Now, they say A&Es are jammed up. There's people waiting in ambulances outside. Well, if those people are still in the ambulance, they haven't booked in. So they're not counted. That doesn't go on the list. Until you actually book in at A&E, you don't go on the list as a statistic. You know, varying reasons. Maybe they haven't got room for people. A&E's full. And again, most people, if they can't get a GP's appointment for an ailment, a rash, a cough, they can't see a GP, the first thing they're going to do is head to A&E, especially foreigners. Most of them don't sign up with a GP. They just go straight to the hospital. And it would seem that they do get preferential treatment. They'll get seen before anybody else. usually because they've got the whole fucking tribe with them, and they want to get them through and out as quick as possible because they just cause a fucking nuisance.
If you want to be seen quickly in A&E, I learnt this a long time ago. Be blonde, pretty, and make a lot of noise.
Oh, if you kick up well, I actually walked out in A&E a couple of years ago, didn't I? They were just pissing me right off. Yeah, exactly, Scar. What was the old saying? If you can't dazzle them with brilliance, baffle them with bullshit. Talking of bullshit, did you see what old Elon Musk has been putting out? Well, apparently there's been people getting benefits in America that are anything up to 140 years old. Obviously, these people died a long time ago, but their payments are still being authorised and the payments are still being cashed, which is very strange. Now, saying there's people there allegedly that are alive that are 140 years old. Well, the oldest woman, or the oldest person, I should say, in the world, died in January this year, and she was 116 years old. Now, if you do a quick search, just even a Google search,
Okay.
the reported, not verified, reported oldest person that has ever been was a guy called Zaro Agus, who was Turkish. Now, when he died in 1934, his doctor put his age down on his death certificate as 157. Now, this has been highly debated and contested over the years, apparently. I only did a quick search to, use it as a reference. But looking at the picture of him, yeah, he looked a bit like Hoggle from The Labyrinth, if you've ever seen the film. But, yeah, Scar, America is a land of corruption. Musk is uncovering hundreds of billions of pounds in corruption and money that shouldn't have been spent. It's absolutely ridiculous but nobody asks the questions, or had never asked the questions before. And he's doing it. That's what Trump's paying him for. And he's doing what he's getting paid for. He's saving them billions and billions of dollars, which could be spent on other things. Same as here in this country. For those of you who saw the video the other day, I actually put a list up of how much money this country has been paying out to other countries. And as I said, either a quarter of that they've been sending to other countries for no reason, as far as I can tell, other than to try and make themselves look good. A quarter of that would sort out a lot of problems in this country. And it would go a long, long way in the NHS. But, yeah, exactly, Scar. Exactly. That won't happen here because they do scrutinise the taxes so heavily. And you know what it's like. You're a day late with your bloody tax assessment. They're coming out and they're coming after you. But,
can I share a useless bit of information when it comes to our national insurance numbers?
Go on then.
You can tell somebody's age roughly by their national insurance number if they were born before about 1980, sometime in the 70s. It changed, and everybody started with a J, and I think they've moved on from J's now. But you and I our national insurance number starts with a W.
Yeah.
If you come across somebody with an X, a Y, or a Z, they are older than we are. And if it's somebody with a U, TU, they are younger than us because they did them by year. What year?
Yeah, mine's actually WM, which is my surname plus my middle name. Same as yours.
But
That's
mine's
your middle
WM.
name as well.
It's got nothing to do with my. It's our date of birth. It's the year we were born, and because we're only 6 weeks apart, our national insurance numbers are very, very similar, and they both start WN.
Yeah.
But somebody born later in the year might have been WP or WA, but yeah.
For those that don't know, Heather does deal with HMRC and things because that's her profession. She does payroll. So anything like that, she will know.
We can check it out.
Oh yeah.
If you're say over 40, it works. And around that time, somebody said, if we keep going like this, we're going to run out of letters. And
well, mine won't because there's 00. I've only got 2 numbers in mine.
Yeah. Yeah, mine starts WM00. But we're not going any further than that.
No, it's got 4 numbers in it, sorry. 66. Oh, so you're only 5 years younger than me then, Simon.
There you go, Scar. Thank you. You've proved my point.
Yeah. It's like you're actually a subject to the Crown if your birth certificate has got a number on it. And apparently the other thing is if your name is written in capitals. Oh, you shouldn't put that up there, Simon, you clown.
No. It won't be 0000000. It will not be that, I can assure you. He has not doxed himself. But N, where are we? Hang on, W. Let's see if we can guess. N-O-T-Q-R-S-T-U-V-W. So 9. About 54? Is that about right?
1966.
Are you about 54, Simon?
Yeah, he's 5 years younger than me. I'm just looking at mine.
19,666, for fuck's sake.
Now,
We ain't got there yet.
If you've got one of those birth certificates, that number there means that you are accountable to royalty.
That far out.
That means you are officially a royal subject. And that is the original one. That's not a copy. That is my original one.
Put that away before somebody screenshots it and copies your ID.
Well, they can't. Because it actually states on there, you cannot use this birth certificate for identification purposes.
Yeah. Happy birthday for next Saturday, Simon.
And a lot of people don't realise that. Companies and places will ask for a birth certificate, but they are not an official recognised as used for identification purposes. But I'm 64 next month and Heather's 64 in April. There's only but 6 weeks between us. I was going to say, Simon. But yeah, if your birth certificate has got that serial number, that means you're listed as a royal subject. Some of the earlier ones haven't. I can't remember when they bought it in, but it was obviously before 1961. No. But yeah, they're paying benefits out in America to people. Well, some of them they're listed as over 150 years old. But it was like the Biden election, wasn't it? You know, that there was thousands and thousands of votes went in, apparently from people that are deceased and have been for years. You know, that's how fucked up America is on that sort of thing. At least here, unless you're an illegal, of course, most people are listed somewhere. You know, you have to be to work. Obviously, you got your national insurance number and stuff like that. A lot of driving licenses as well. But they are looking to put driving licenses on an app that you'll have on your phone, along with all your rest of your ID and your details. Well, that ain't going to work with me because my phone won't accept apps like that. And I've got no intention of changing them. They're both still working perfectly, even though they are about 10 years old. But they do what I want. If your national insurance number starts with an S, you're not born in this. No, I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
When I was calculating for God bless, I went NOPQRSTWX and did that. Yeah, actually, you're about 7. But I forgot that S doesn't come into it. Don't know whether Q does either. So N is 59 and we are 60. Call it 65. So NOPR. No, still doesn't. There might be some letters missing out of there, but I know roughly.
Yeah, Scar, in the free world, China obviously isn't. Yeah, Zelensky is coming. They're even talking about now having a general election over there. People are starting to realise just how much he's been sent over the last few years, and nobody's seen anything of it. I mean, the fact that he's got a 33 million allegedly personal portfolio, that's very interesting coming from a country like that. But yeah, they've been sent 3 billion and nothing has been shown for it. Allegedly, I will say, just in case. Hi, faceless cowards, if you're listening. But yeah, he's getting called out now. Europe has turned on him. America's turned on him. The only prick that's still trying to support him is Starmer.
Well, he's got no other friends left.
But yeah, exactly. He's got no other friends left in the world, does he?
I've got no friends. I'm going to be friends with Zelensky.
But it's, do you think he filled his taxes? Doubt if he ever paid any, Scar. Don't forget, he used to be a television star over there. He used to be a dancer. So he's well qualified if you look at the qualifications our government have got.
Well, that's obviously where he made his millions. Nothing to do with what we've given him.
I've forgotten where I was now. You chirped in again, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was going to bring something else up.
What? Are you not working from your notes?
No, I finished them.
All right.
But I had something in my head that I was going to put in there and rents his properties.
I'll just shut up and leave you to it.
Yeah, he could rent them to Russia out all told, couldn't he? God bless.
It's nearly 8 o'clock. Are you going to open the panel tonight?
Yes, I might do in a
later?
minute. Yes, I may do later.
Yeah. Swapping
Yeah, I haven't dived into it. God bless. I'm just going on. That's why I say allegedly, because I'm only going on the reports I've seen. Loafer, good evening, mate. With Sunak and Trudeau, yeah. Well, Trudeau's a lefty commie dictator anyway, any. How the Canadians are still supporting him after what he did to them, especially the truckers in the truckers protest over there. I mean, he's just an absolute clusterfuck. You know, he's openly gay. Well, it's fair enough, you know. Maybe Starmer would like to open up and tell us about his personal life, because it seems a bit entwined at the moment, doesn't it? If you listen to the reports. If the war ends, do I still have to give a million? Well, whether this is right or wrong, Moo, but as far as I understand, with the law and the government in this country, especially, now, if this country wants to get involved and fund or a war that is absolutely nothing to do with us and we're not involved in, which we weren't at the beginning of this, before they hand over any money, apparently they're supposed to have a public referendum. I haven't actually looked at the law myself. He said he said that a few times, didn't he? I mean, he only inherited the bloody job because of his father. You know, both playboys. Why do you think he let off Jay? Yeah. But, you know, you got our lot now. This really pisses me off with these new AI channels that are popping up everywhere on YouTube. They put up these big clickbait thumbnails. Oh, so-and-so said they're going to resign. So-and-so stepping down. So-and-so is going to be sacked. It's a load of bollocks. And most of what they're reporting is kind of a week old. So be careful what you take from them. I don't even watch them now. Legalized. Yes, Canada has got legalized weed. They're allowed, I think it's 6 plants for personal use. Obviously, you're not allowed to smoke it in public. But the same as in other countries where they've made it legal, people get together and grow a whole field. When their version of the authorities, like the ATF and shit like that, go in there, they can't separate who owns what. All they can do is look at the list of people, see how many are in, I suppose it's like a company or whatever, that are growing this field. And they balance that out against the number of plants. Medical certificate, foreign plants for personal use. What's that in Canada, Simon? I will open the panel up shortly for a little while. I don't like to have it open too long for now, because I start to concentrate on that and kind of forget the poor buggers that are left in the chat. But I will open it for a little while, even if it's only half hour at the end.
I try and take care of those in the chat that want to chat. Most of them just shut up and listen.
But yeah, Trudeau, he's a right little dictator. He always has been. I mean, it is a shame. I visited Canada many years ago. And I always said, next to Sweden, it was one of the cleanest, most beautiful run countries I've ever been to. You know, during the winter, everything goes underground. They got shopping malls underground. Most of the footpaths and the roads are heated. They even shovel the snow away and take it away and dump it elsewhere. It used to be very well run. the RMPs, the Royal Mounted Police over there. They were very, very respected. But now they just turned into like our police here. You know, a lot of them are corrupt bullies. We still see that in the truckers strike again. I must put WhatsApp on my bloody computer because
It doesn't go on a computer.
it won't work on it.
No, it works on a mobile phone.
Oh, well, it's not even working on that at the moment. I think it might be trying. Ah, there we go. Yeah, all right, resist, no worries.
Resist.
Yeah.
Oh, you're verbally answering a message.
Yes. Yeah, God bless says he uses it on his PC.
Oh, I didn't know you could. There you go. Every day's a school day. You say that.
Oh, thank you, YouTube, for telling me after an hour that I'm live. That's the other thing, if you're still in here, YouTube are very reluctant to send out alerts for me, and I never get any alerts for comments. Never get any alerts. That's how they treat people who try and play on a level playing field, but they don't. Yeah, I've never had it on me computer, Simon. I joined it on the phone. Well, it was only someone in the background here. She's always used it. And a mate of mine was round here one day, and between them, they persuaded me to do it, and I just handed over my phone, and they set it all up for me.
Well, one of the reasons was it got bloody annoying trying to find memes for you, for your lives and shit.
In the beginning, because I didn't know how to edit and do things on the computer, on a late learner, as it were. All the memes I used to put in my videos, Heather used to find them on WhatsApp and Facebook, because I never had Facebook either. And she used to email me them. And I'd use them, copy them, and use them, paste them on the videos just for a bit of a giggle. And she used to get pissed off with trying to find them, so she sent me up to go find your own.
What?
Yeah, I use Chrome anyway, Moo. Yeah, but with me, Jen, you know how mind wanders. I lose what I'm doing. I mean, I was still debating whether, adding Twitter was a good thing, because it's another one I got to keep an eye on, with comments and stuff like that. Although you're limited to how many words you can put in a comment, because I won't pay. But it's virtually censorship free. I dare say if you got bang out of order, they would do something. But yeah, from what I've seen, you can talk a lot more freely on that. I mean, me and A were having a bit of a conversation, as it were, on YouTube earlier today, and she was having comments removed. So we moved over to X, as it's called now, isn't it? Not Twitter. But yeah, I'm slowly learning. Yeah, I'm still learning how to use Facebook on half of the time, but but that's just me. I haven't been on a computer up until 8 years ago.
Oh, don't ask me.
Probably.
No, it's got to be more like 13, 14, because
I was using eBay and watching YouTube, but I wasn't doing anything.
And then you had the clock, and then you started doing
Well, I was going
You
on
went on your
Dan's.
course.
I was going on Dan's live to start with, wasn't I?
That was
And
lockdown. That was
in
2020.
lockdown, and that was when I got persuaded. Well, you know, with what you do and what you say, why don't you start your own channel?
But you were using a computer before then.
Yeah.
Even if it was only
Just
to
basics.
buy shit on eBay and watch Dan's channel.
Yeah. Originally, even on that, you know, I didn't come up on the panel till I got in there a bit more and, you know, learned how to use it all.
And bought a camera.
And as Dan says, yeah, well, Roger's always first up. He's like a permanent fixture in there now. But, what's that? What's Jen been saying? Oh, she's talking to God bless.
Yeah, calling him loafer.
Well, Loafer's the same as me. He's on X, and he ain't got a clue what he's doing on there, apparently. So. But I've also found, although you can only put short videos up, unless you pay, I presume, the videos are more interesting in there. Oh, we got another Steve in here. Good evening, Steve. Boily Boyle. Yeah, that's all down to
Monty Python.
one Monty Python's clip that I posted. That's gone well over 4 million views now. But look how the subs grew, and this is what tells me that YouTube are holding the channel back, because I've now got. Before I posted that clip, I had just under 600 subs. And then all of a sudden, now I've got over 2,600 subscribers. Yeah, okay, many of them probably subbed, expecting me to keep going with the Monty Pythons and that. But the views on the videos haven't gone up. The comments haven't gone up. Now, I don't really care about the analytics. That's why I said if anybody's got anything strong they want to say, put it in the email or put it on X. It'll get through to me as you want it to get through to me. But yeah, they've been holding the channel back. Certainly, it's blatantly obvious. I mean, I can go into the analytics and I can look in there and see hundreds and hundreds of comments that have never appeared. You know, they'll post them a week later in there, but they won't show under the video. It's just the faceless coward's way of harassing people, hoping that we'll just pack up and go away. Well, I've never run away from anything in my life, so. But live streams like this, I don't mind having the little posse we have in here, because we're all like-minded people. Some of you I've met in person. Most of you have been here for quite some time, and we've got to know each other. And I've got to trust you guys, you know. I mean, I think I've only ever booted anybody off a live. I think only twice since I've been running live streams. I think it's twice.
Well, hang on, it was Crinkle.
Crinkle, Benson.
There's two.
But that's why I don't. Mike's had his channel taken down today. Oh, fucking hell.
What's he been doing?
I don't know. I haven't been watching him. He did like to go and hang around on the drama channels, and as you know, I took a step back from them. They're just an absolute clusterfuck. You know, going in, porn bombing each other, and most of them are going there and just create an argument just to get views. That's not me. That's not the way I do things.
I want to go and argue with Benson again.
Well, no, because you remember how I got last time over all that, so I don't even give him the airtime. That's the first time I've probably mentioned him in 2 years. no.
Yeah, but it was God bless his reaction to me having a go. I think that comment.
But the thing is, I mean, those of you that are, oh, sorry, I've got an itchy foot. Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of somebody else there. There was two mics. You're on about Mike that used to come on Dan's streams. But, yeah, I got involved in some heated things, for those that don't know, on some of the drama channels. It brought back some memories of some very nasty things. Bastion Radio, yeah. Thank you, Simon. Some very nasty things in my past. It was part of my standing in a certain club to do it. And a couple of people wound me up to the point where those buried thoughts that have been buried for 30, 40 years started to come back, and I was thinking about doing things, and it put me in a very, very dark place. And for those that remember, that was when I stepped back from the internet for, I think it was about a month. I just needed to get my head straight. And I didn't want to get back into that space that I used to be and act like that again. It's yeah, but if you jerk it up and down, Steve. Nothing wrong with you keeping it tight. Yeah, I mean, you know, I would, yeah, a couple I've had arguments with in here, and we've had to kick them out. But then that's why I always put in the description, 0 tolerance. You start pissing around, there's no ifs, no buts. You don't get a trial, you don't get looked at, you just get fucked off. Simple as that. You know, if you're attacking people and stuff like that, you know, debating, chatting to each other, disagreeing, absolutely fine. But you can disagree respectfully. There was one guy, this is going back a couple of years.
Thank you, Simon.
We disagreed on a video over auditors. Now, I had totally different views to him. But, I mean, we had a thread going. All right, Jen, take it easy, sweetheart. Look after yourself and stay safe. We disagreed on a lot of things, but we spent well over an hour backwards and forwards in the comments, having a debate. And we did part friends. You know, he said, okay, we're never going to agree, but we've had a respectful debate. We thanked each other for that. And that was the last I heard from him. But there was no animosity, no arguing, no shouting, no calling people names. It was a very respectable debate, which is what adults should do. Unfortunately, a lot of the people I see on YouTube arguing and that, I class them as sub-adult because they obviously are. But no, I don't go into that stuff anymore. I mean, I dropped in on Paul's live, Pierce and I, the other night briefly. Again, there's a couple of people in there that I'm not keen on, but for Paul, I tolerated them and stayed in there. When Dan gets back up and running, I will probably be on his, but it won't be like the 2 o'clock in the bloody morning jobs like we did before, because I just wouldn't last. A thief of bad gags. Right, what time are we on now? So I said I am quite tired, but I am gonna stay on till 9. So let's see if we can get this the right way round this time. There we go. I know Simon will like to drop in there. Any of the newcomers that want to come up just for the first time, if you've got a camera, I'd like to see your face in the back room, because there's a lot of people that would like to sneak in, just to verify. Hello, why aren't you coming up then, Simon? Oh, there we go.
Put the camera on there.
Mate, you think you're going grey. You ain't got no problem, mate, Joe.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
I need a haircut. Look at me, I'm like a fucking hippie.
I know. I just said to Heather she's going to have to cut that sometime soon for me.
I was
normally my missus
the other night in bed trying to get it all to
I was laid there in bed and she's like...
Normally my wife cuts my hair, but we're having a domestic at the moment, so she's fucking done 2 alloys on a new car already. What is it with women and alloys? Fucking hell, the 18-inch ones as well. Anyway, how you doing, you two? Good to see you both.
Yeah, not bad, mate. It looked like you were lagging for a bit there.
I shouldn't be. I got the best internet you can get and the best PC. Not being snobby or anything when I say that. I'm just saying, just to make life a little bit look more.
I had mine built specifically for me.
I built mine specifically for me. By the way, I've had a couple tonight.
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm okay now. You wouldn't think if I hadn't said you that, you would have said,
oh, cinnamon.
Yeah, you're breaking
up.
Yeah. It might be streaming.
Fire.
Cinnamon
I had another
bourbon.
one as well, a honey one as well.
Bourbon.
I'm having to top it up because I went to Aldi's tonight. They put the price up on beer again. Ales.
It's all gone up, mate. In the pubs as well.
Simon, trying to advertise will not give you free products.
Did they not say that during the last fucking what's the name from accounts, right? It knocks off a penny off the pint. Yet they just put the price up in this. It's a sugar tax thing. It came in on an alcohol tax. Came in on the 1st of February.
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
She announced it the middle of last month.
I'm gonna have to get Loafer to come down my gaff for a little while. He's gonna set me up with his homebrew stuff. It's gonna be cheaper. No, you're laughing. I'm being serious. I can't. I do like to have a few ales. I can't drink that toxic things like Stella anymore. Those lagers. They've got too many. I think they've got MSG in them. It makes me feel weird the next day. But with the hobgoblin ales, I can drink those and I feel fine the next day. No thick head at all.
Yeah, well, I used to be an ale drinker, a real ale drinker. It was either that or bourbon, usually Jack. If I couldn't get out of that, then yeah, JB used to be the one. But no, I mean, 15 years ago, I think it is now, I just decided I didn't like the person I became when I was drunk, put it that way.
I quite liked it. It was fun.
I'm a happy go fucking lucky. I'll put my pants down and do a Mooney on the CCTV kind of bloke when I'm drunk.
I just had to carry him back to the hotel.
Yeah, that was one of the nights that almost sealed it. Was when I took her down to Newquay to meet all my mates, and she carried me back to the hotel under her arm.
I just had a notification there saying Danny Salter just commented on your Facebook post. Just as we're speaking, it's about time he gets his fucking ass up on here.
He hasn't got any Wi-Fi at his mum's.
I know what it is. He's only got the contract on his phone is minimal and that.
Yeah.
He can always get his ass down to McDonald's. He lived down there before, didn't he?
Yeah, but you can't walk in with a computer and do a live stream.
No, mobile phone.
But,
how you guys surviving? You all good?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Like I say, I've had a bit more medical news. Apparently, I got a bit of an issue with my kidneys. They're looking into now.
He's broke. He's fucked.
I'm surprised, as I said, that they haven't caught it before, because I've had blood taken out of me on a regular basis for testing for the last 10 years. You know, now all of a sudden, your blood's showing that you might have a problem. I'm like, But I've got the GP surgery down to a T now. I don't go around there. They send the little lady out to take it here.
Do they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the phlebotomist phoned me at about 1:45 this afternoon. Said the doctor wants to have another
I
look
always
at your
think you're
blood.
saying lobotomist when you say that.
Phlebotomist.
I know, it sounds like lobotomist, you know.
I call her the blood lady. So she phoned me at about 1:45. Said, "Oh, you said you're usually in unless you're at the hospital." I said, "Well, that's only on a Monday, because that's the only day that Heather can take me up there through work." And she said, "Oh, can I nip round in about 20 minutes, half hour? The doctor wants a bit more blood." I said, "Yeah, absolutely fine. I'll just knock on the door." And she took 6 vials.
Oh, look, do you know what? Right, when I go have my blood test, it looks like they take with those vials inside are only like a couple of millimeters, milliliters inside it. Oh, shit.
These were.
Just reminded me. Forgot. Keep forgetting this. Anyway, yeah, so it's only a couple of. It looks like it's a lot of blood, but it's not. It's not. It really isn't.
What's that? Your blood sugar on that one, is it?
Yeah, that's. Yeah, they've just fucking got me onto this fucking insulin. I don't want to do it, but my toes are really cold at the moment, and I don't want to lose my toes. So they said about amputation. Fuck that.
You shouldn't be doing that on air.
Yeah, I know. I'm still waiting. What was it? Over 6 weeks now since I had the operation to get the cancer tumor things, and they still haven't got back to me to tell me what's going on. I'll probably get a letter saying lost in the post. you got 2 months. You got a month left to live.
When I go in for the venous sections, depending on how many of the thick red blood cells I've got when they test there and then, they can take out a pint or up to a pint and a half, like they did last time.
How much?
They can take up to a pint and a half out of me on the venous sections.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It's, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I've actually, I did put a little clip in a video a couple of years back because I was having a bit of a laugh with the nurses, and I said, do you mind if I video a little clip? I said, you won't be on it, you might be heard, but I won't get you in it. And I was showing the needle in my arm and the bag on the floor where the blood was going into, because what they do, they weigh it goes on weight. And yeah, we were just laughing and joking about it. I said, well, don't stand on the bag, will you? Because it's going to put it back in, like. And then how much are you taking? Don't forget, I got date night tonight. I want enough left for the 2 of us.
Stop. TMI.
And yeah, it was only a little clip, but I had a right laugh with them. I have them in stitches every time I go in there.
How you getting on with the vaping?
Eh?
How you getting on with the vaping?
Yeah, as I said earlier, I've switched over to this one, which is a far better one. It's got a lot more filters and stuff in it. Heather had one first, and I tried hers, and it didn't make me cough like the others used to.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more mellow. You've got more control over the temperature and how much you get as well.
This is what it is, Watch. I think it's down to the temperature. I've got loads of vapes lying around. I'm not really using them at the moment. But it's when you put it on the high one,
yeah,
you want it on low. And also, if you make your own stuff, you could even sit in a hospital and have a little couple of tokes. And
to be honest, the stuff I use, it's only £1 a bottle anyway.
Be careful what you buy, because that's what gave me OCD, the cheap stuff. And then I got into making my own stuff. And then I stopped it and I went back to smoking. So when we lived in Spain, back in Spain for a little while, sat around a pool and you could smell, when you've had a few beers, you smell the nicotine. So I'll just have one, a little cheeky one, but then it progresses. Then you got these other ones where these different flavored ones, and you taste them, and you could taste, like the sweeteners, the saccharine. and they're really nice. But then they give you popcorn lungs, so when you breathe, it's like a crackle.
Yeah, that's what I was getting.
Yes.
But I tried a lot of different flavors, and I found things like lemon, the cola ones, because I drink Coke. I thought I'll give the cola one a try. They weren't much better, but the two I prefer, and I don't have a lot of problem with it, is raspberry R, and the other one is sweet strawberry. And
That's
my
like
throat has got a lot better since I've been using them. So
I like to put like that mint, the menthol. That's it. Menthol.
Yeah,
I'm a menthol girl. Mine's menthol.
I like the menthol ones because it kind of hits your throat and you can feel it. You can feel something. When you
Heather
go
uses the menthol ones because she always used to smoke menthol ciggies.
Yeah.
But they make me cough. They irritate my throat. The mint irritates my throat.
Mine's menthol, but zero nicotine. But because
are you on zero? Are you, Heather?
Oh, I'm zero.
Yeah. What about you, Rog?
No, mine are low.
He's on a 0.6
because you can't get these in zero.
Yeah, I got
that's the only reason.
When I make my own, I can make up to 2.4, which is quite high, really high. But you have to be very. The thing is about making your own stuff. Like I said before, you can go to these shops and they've got these connoisseur bottles for like 40 quid, and you can make that for 14 pence. But if you make it yourself, you have to be very careful about the nicotine, getting the ratios right, because you can kill yourself.
I'll be totally honest. During the day, I very rarely use it.
Really?
It's only when I'm sat here in the evening and, doing live streams.
When boredom kicks in and you need something to do with your hand.
I'm terrible. I wake up in the morning. I get through 2 of these 50 grams a week.
Well, I was only getting through one when I was smoking.
So I get through a packet of Rizzlers a day. Packet of, what's that, 50? I mean, they're not, look, you can see, they're not exactly, they're coffin nails. But it's my fucking one downfall with smoking.
Well, I did fess up a little while back over Christmas. I did have a bit more of the older, the herbal, shall I say. Literally because we always have Christmas round here. Everybody's drinking.
Yeah.
And that helped me with my muscles as well, like it used to. But I actually used it a little bit more to get me on the same level as they were, so I could join in with the laugh.
I know, on the same level, yeah.
But as soon as the bit I had given me was gone, that was it. I don't need it.
Was that solid or was that like the green?
No, that's herbal.
Oh, I like the solid. I don't trust the green. They fuck about with it too much.
Well, the thing is, as I always said, for probably the last 10 years till I gave it up last April, 9 times out of 10, I was only using it for medical reasons. It relaxed me, so it relaxed me muscles, so I wasn't getting the muscle pains. I wasn't getting so many cramps. Cheers. And the other thing was, it was helping me sleep.
But Simon, we never bought good stuff.
Yeah.
What we got was clippings.
And shakings,
So you're not paying a lot for it. So you don't expect a lot. Because we've gone through that phase of paying full price. And what we got was only as good as the stuff we were getting for a third of the price. So we never bought the good stuff after that.
That's what I said about the vaping stuff. I mean, look, when I was younger, like 30 odd years ago plus, we used to get the coconut, and I like the solids, the soap. And if you're right about talking about this, watch on your channel. We're talking about past tense, and it's all right. And then recently, I lost a lot of weight, and I wasn't eating and stuff like that. And somebody might give me a lump of the solid, and when I did that, like the smell coming off, oh my god, it took me back. I was like 20 again. And I'd
My
have
issues are the people I tend to get it from don't do solids.
yeah, but the thing is, right, so that's it. So, and then I'd have a mate. If you saw what I built, you'll go, is it worth smoking that? And I'd have a few totes, and then I'd be like Tasmanian devil. The cupboards are open, and I ate. And then I ran out. I ran out, and her brother goes, look, I can get you some, but it's I'll make you one, like a pre-made one.
Yeah.
It's organic. Mate, I smoked it. I felt so depressed and pissed off and suicidal. My body felt heavy. I thought,
Well,
never
I
smoke
made the
again.
big mistake of over Christmas because I've got this, which is for the
I got one of
air
those somewhere
chamber for the
around.
vaporizer
Yeah.
for my steroid.
Nebulizer. Yeah.
And I thought, well, what if I hold it in my hand, stick it in the end, and cover the rest of it with my hand? And it was like, and I was like, mistake.
Hey, Rog, when you was a kid, right? Did you ever go around your mate's house and the first time you did? And I tell you what, who did it for me was Hell's Angels, motherfuckers, right? Like he's like one of my best mates, but I don't mean that in a nasty way, motherfuckers, right? And I went round there. I was only like 17. I come out on my motorbike, no insurance, no tax, no insurance. And I come in, there's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and they had like a 3-litre Coke bottle doing a chillum, yeah, in the water and the sink. He goes, you ever done this? I said, no. He goes, try it out. Oh, it'll make you feel really nice. I did it. I woke up 11 o'clock at night. That was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I got my motorbike to go home. I'm in Swindon. I ended up in Ringwood. Fucking, you know what I'm talking about. Fuck me, that it's like a prep house, what they call it, inauguration or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Oh, they're evil.
Well, the
But
one I had,
experience.
The lads in the pub, they absolutely pissed themselves. One of my mates was into his nitro remote control models.
Mm.
Now, you know what the fuel used to be for them.
I've got it here. Yeah.
Hopper. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's walked into the pub. He'd just been to the model shop and he bought like a flagon of it for his models. And he said, can you put that behind the bar for me? He said, I don't want it out here in the pub. I said, yeah, certainly. And I made the mistake.
Low fuel. That's it.
Yeah, but it was actually the same stuff as poppers. And so I undone the cap of this bloody flagon, stuck my nose over the end of it. Oh, this was a Herking great thing, like a half-gallon flagon of it. Stuck my nose over it and just went, put the top back on, put it on the shelf behind the bar. And apparently, I can't remember it, but I just turned around, looked at everybody in the pub and just went, wallop.
Oh, that's what happened to me. I was in a nightclub. Do you remember, in Swindon, there's a nightclub called, I can't remember what it's called now, Robin's Nest or something, or Saks. And this kiddie, I was only 16, and this mate of mine went up to me, he goes, hey, have a sniff of that. I goes, oh, shit. Are you sure it's right? And I went, and then suddenly I went, fuck in my head.
I didn't even get that, mate. I just went out like a light and was laid out behind the bar for 10 minutes.
Fuck me. But life experiences, I don't regret any of them because they were fun and it's just what it is, isn't it?
I've always said that, mate. People have often said, what would you change if you went back in time to your life?
Nothing.
And I said nothing because, one, it's made me the man I am now. Yes, I made many mistakes, but I learnt from those mistakes.
Yeah.
I would have had a very different life, much like you two, because I missed out on all of that shit. But I've got 2 beautiful kids. And 3 beautiful grandchildren, that if I hadn't done it the other way around and had my kids early in life, I wouldn't have them.
Yeah, it's
We take what we can from life. I mean, you've experienced what you got what you want from life, Heather. And Roger and I, we've got what we wanted for life. We've had good fun. And
well, that's it. I learned a lot of trades. You know, I'm not qualified in most of them, but I've done a lot of different jobs, gained a lot of knowledge. As you know, I used to enjoy my car racing. So as a single bloke earning a lot of money,
motorbikes.
Yeah, that's where my money went. I spent a year on the road on a motorbike as a cycle tramp. You know, just sleeping in bus shelters. All I had was a sleeping bag and the clothes I had on for a year.
Really?
Yeah. Used to go around the UK. You know, I'd stop off somewhere. You know, where does the local bike club meet?
If you'd have known me, you could have shad my sofa.
You know, get to see the lads. And no, quite often they'd say, "Oh, if you're only hanging around for a week, you know, we got a kit for you." One club, I can't remember the name of it now, but very nice club up north. I'd blown my Triumph up, and they found me on the side of the road with this fucking Triumph in bits, and sat in a lay-by, all the engine apart, all over the floor.
Really?
And, yeah, they, you know, rule of the road. They stopped to see if I needed any help. And they just said, "Well, you're going to be here for a while." I said, "Yeah." And they said, "All right, and we'll pop back later on." And about 2 hours later, transit pulled in, picked me and the bike up, took me to the club workshop. Said, "There you go. You got all the tools you want. If you need any spares, we've got suppliers." And I kept in the workshop. They fed me, watered me, and gave me free use of the workshop to rebuild the engine.
Well, before you come in, Steve, look, do you know what? When I was a kid, and I was a bit of a biker, and I'll tell you what, you know, if you pulled over, everybody would pull over and help you out and ring up another mate, and blah blah blah. Yeah, it always happens. It
used to be the rule. You never leave a brother on the side of the road if you can.
No, you don't. Never, ever, ever.
Yep.
Stevie, how you doing, mate? Long time.
Yeah,
what's going on with that fucking ginger haddy beard you got going on there?
Yeah,
I'm getting my clippers out.
I'm defecting, mate. I'm going to be a jihadi now.
As long as you don't come on shouting Alan's snack bar, we don't mind.
Yeah. How you keeping, mate? It's been a fucking long time since I spoke to you.
I've been. It doesn't feel like it for me because I've been listening to you guys all the time on my old tablet, which I was lucky to get because someone lent it to me.
Lurking.
Yeah, lurking away because I couldn't get the chat on it. So,
you're all terrible.
Exactly.
Okay. Go stand by a window.
I'm right by the window.
Oh, do you know what? It's like a family. It's like a family reunion. I like things like this. No, really, no, honestly, Rog. All our old guys, our old crew, the sensible ones, all the nice things. That's what I like.
That sounds like your audio was playing up there, Simon.
It's not mine. Trust me.
I could hear Si okay.
No, Steve sort of cutting over.
I think you, Steve. Have you got a page open? Yes, echoing. Look, when Heather spoke then, it sounded all Dalek-y. Yeah, I think Steve, you got another page open.
No, I haven't got
any. Steve, just for a minute, darling.
Hang on, let Steve, I'm just going to drop you into the back room a sec and we'll check Simon's out and then we'll do it vice versa. Right.
It's not mine. I will do a naked dance on the stream right now.
No, yours is fine. Right.
It's not me.
Right, I'll drop you into the back room. Do you want to talk, Steve?
Mary had a little lamb. Anything different?
Yeah. Well, mine's yeah, there's something going on at your end, mate. It's repeating with a Dalek voice.
It's affecting everything.
Yes, Steve, you might want to drop out, and drop back in, but make sure you haven't got the original YouTube page open that you linked into.
I'm on a phone, so I don't think that's an issue. Yeah, I'll drop out.
Back in 3. I need a wee.
Back in 3, I need a wee.
Yeah, we used to get this with the PAPs, didn't we? We used to get people on with 2 devices open or another window open, and it just repeats and keeps going round in a loop.
Tina was the worst for it at one point.
Well, mine did it at one point, didn't it?
Yeah, but for a period of time, every time Tina came on, it was like, nah, your audio's all over the place, love. You'll have to go. Bye.
Well, we only got about quarter of an hour left to run, so. Yeah, Gordo, it could be where he's got StreamYard open and YouTube at the same time. The mic might be authorized on both of them because there is a big lag between StreamYard.
The problem
and
is
YouTube.
when you're using a phone, it automatically decides what it's going to do.
Yeah.
It's rather difficult to have
I
control.
Just bear with me a sec, folks. I shall take this opportunity to go and get another drink.
Come on, then.
Very slowly.
But yeah, phones, you have very little control over them, so it's down to the phone to decide what's going on. And
Where's Rod gone? Is he back in 2 or back in 3?
He's getting a drink.
He's back in 3.
What rhymes with drink?
No, that's the problem when I go on for too long. You know, I'll drink 1.5 litres of liquids and I've only got 1 litre bladder.
What it is, Rod? Are you diabetes 1 or 2?
I'm not diabetic.
Are you not? Because what it is, right? When you drink the sugary drinks, your body automatically makes you go for a piss to get rid of the sugars in your system.
We did this last week, Simon. I am type 2, and he's fine.
Oh God, here's another one. Good evening, Loafer.
Hey, Loafer.
You all right?
How you doing, Loafer?
Getting old.
And we all.
I'm going to be 59 in a week. Well, this Saturday, and then next year I'm going to be 60. I'm going to be 60 now.
I'm going to start calling the channel the Silver Surfers.
The only thing I'm looking forward to that is getting those pensioner deals at the fish and chip shops.
Oh, there's all sorts of deals when she crossed 60. Get 10% off in Iceland on a Tuesday.
You're going a bit Dalek-y there, Heather. You went a bit Dalek-y then.
That's me.
All right, Stavros.
That's me because I'm vaping and trying to talk.
Don't forget, once you hit 60, sign up at Iceland. You can get 10% off of everything on a Tuesday.
Not a bad idea. But they keep raising the pension age. When we look at they do it to the waspy women. Yeah, they raise the pension age and make it equal to men's. So basically, you used to be able to retire at 60, 65. It's now 67.
You don't have to tell me about the fucking waspy women. I'm just too young to be one of them. But I'm still upset for them because what fucking Starmer's done to them is just ridiculous.
I'll get her on one here.
No, if I'd have been born that little bit earlier, or they'd have given a different
Steve's
age,
back.
I'd have been a waspy woman.
Try it again, mate.
A, what they offered them was an insult. And B,
No, it's still doing it, Steve. What you got to do, if you've got StreamYard open and YouTube open, is mute YouTube.
Yeah, the main channel that you came on to, and then keep open the StreamYard.
You don't know how close you are with that comment, Gordo.
Oh, that's not very nice. I'll tell you what, though. Hold a minute. Like, since I've been doing this insulin, and to be fair, it balances out. It makes you fart a lot more.
Oh, anything makes me fart, mate. Anything.
I've got to go see my little girlie next week.
I was going to say, machines are breeding. I go out, go to bed, I come back down in the morning, and they've all made a new one for me. It's getting beyond the joking here. It's getting beyond the
Careful,
joke.
the government don't want us breeding now, you know.
No. Well, certain ethnicities, but we won't go there.
Well, that was what I said the other day. Now they reckon, Muslims, they're breeding more. The English aren't breeding as much. Well, no, because we're sensible enough to know, and people make the conscious decision, we can't fucking afford kids at the moment.
Exactly.
Whereas they're getting everything, or a majority of them are getting everything for fuck all. They can get money for all their wives on benefits. So that they're happy.
Then you got the concubines as well on top of that.
Yeah,
they're allowed. It's true. I'd love to have a few more kids. I mean, we're at 5. My wife's 15 years younger than me. She still keeps going on.
Sorry, let's see if Steve's working.
Go on, Steve.
Hi there. Any better?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I'll go back.
No, it's gone again.
Not to worry. I'll just cut until next time, man. Is there any better if I'm right?
Echo's gone, but it's scratching.
Before you go into the StreamYard settings when you go to join the channel and look at the mic and the audio settings.
I did. I just changed them.
Are you on a mobile phone?
Yeah.
What is it? What mobile phone is it?
It's a Samsung 9.
Oh, that's a bit sweet.
Right. Never mind. I'll get it figured out. I'll just have to come back another time.
Oh no, it's just
A few minutes.
No worries,
okay.
mate. But that's the thing on mine when I go into my sound settings, because everything runs through the computer. I can pick which mic I want to use, which speakers, because I've got 3 or 4 different mics I can plug into this. But this last one I bought is a damn good. It's a cheap one, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
So I use that for everything. It was only 24 quid.
Oh really? Well, Amazon.
No, off eBay. It's the V8 one.
Can you change the tone of your voice? You sound really deep.
No, that's a separate box that I've got. But for some reason, it works on my mobile and it works on my laptop, but I can't get it to work on here. And the other problem is it's not a plugged-in one; it's a rechargeable one. So if you're constantly running your mic through it, it runs down very quick. But it's great using it to piss people around on phone calls.
Hey, he's gone into dialect mode with his voice now.
What, me?
Yeah, you.
That is probably your voice.
You remember we were talking about Mike West earlier on? He's like the Bastion Radio. He bought a thing. I'll have to message him. He bought it for like 48 quid off Amazon. They could change your voices and do all these other special effects. It's quite a nice gift.
You get that's what I've got. It's got effects. You can change your voices.
But since we started vaping, we've developed this croaky.
Yeah,
you end up going more and more into dialect zone.
A few weeks back now, you can hear it going. This is what happens when I start to talk for a long time. That's why I don't stay on long. I started to talking about Daleks. And I said something stupid like, oh yeah, Starmer's like a Dalek. Exterminate. The way my throat was, it actually came out. Exterminate.
Have you seen that Spike Milligan sketch, Pakistani Daleks?
No.
Yeah.
I like Spike Milligan.
Brilliant.
He was amazing, wasn't he? I loved Spike Milligan. And he was part of the Goonies, wasn't he? I
Yeah,
remember
the
rightly.
tunes. Yeah.
You know,
Well,
it's good.
The
he's
strangest
actually
things I've been having
buried.
this argument with people. Spike Milligan was born in Ahmednagar in India. His
Well,
dad
he's
was
actually
Irish.
buried
His
in my
mum
mum's
was
hometown in Ireland.
He had to reapply for British citizenship. In the 1980s, they brought a new rule in it. Apparently, if you weren't born in Britain, you had to reapply for British citizenship. Now, he served honourably in North Africa and what's that island where all the mafia come from? And he was working his way up through Italy, and he was blown up his feet laying advanced communications for his artillery battalion, and it sent him crazy. He'd blown up his feet. His mate were killed outright. It sent him crazy. He had to reapply for British citizenship. And the irony is this. He was so insulted by it, he actually phoned up the Irish embassy and said, I'd like to become an Irish citizen. And the guy on the other end of the phone said, oh, Jesus, that's brilliant. We're running short of Irishmen over here. Not anymore. Have you seen the new Irish? And now anybody can come in. You can destroy your passport. You can claim citizenship rights and everything. The thing is, people are not having kids anymore. It's because of a number of reasons. Is that because economically, money-wise, they can't afford to settle down, start raising a family.
Oh, they've decimated Ireland. I've
You'll
got
find that-
relatives over there.
Yeah, the male and the female part, you and your wife or you and your husband, you'll find that you both got to work two jobs. So actually having kids and putting them into childcare is expensive.
Well, you've
And
seen
then-
what the government have done here now, what they put in place. The channel paddlers, as I call them, they've raised the limit on what they can have on legal aid to fight their cases to stay here.
Look, listen, I bounced around. Originally, when I first started doing it, I got a lot of shit. You English bastard and all that kind of stuff. You killed our country, your royal family and all. Yeah, and I kind of like explained to them, I said, look, guys, we didn't get educated with this in school, right? And I come over here and I am very much the wise up Welsh, Irish, Scotch, English Unite people because we do need each other more than ever. We got a bigger threat going on. And so that's kind of settled now. And I go on to a lot of Irish channels and I get educated about the things we didn't get taught in school. Yeah. And yes, they did have a fucking rough deal, to be fair. You know? Yeah. Anyway, so I go onto his panels now. I'm quite welcomed. And you about
think
what's going on in the UK and here. Go on, Rod, sorry.
You think about our history and Irish history. The Industrial Revolution in this country probably would never have happened without the help of the Irish navvies.
Yeah. They built the London sewers and the railway.
They built the sewers, they built the canals, they built the railway tunnels.
They built this country.
They built the original infrastructure.
Helped build this country.
That helped build it. But without them, the Industrial Revolution would have took a load more years.
Now I see what's going on in Ireland, right? The Guardian, i.e. the police, fucking vicious, Stasi bastards, how they're treating people peacefully protesting outside hotels. Then you got these Nigerians and stuff that are going, oh, look at me, guys. You come to Ireland, you get 10,000 euros and you get free house. Come, let's go. Yeah,
and they had to accept them because they're still in the EU.
Mate, honestly, the stuff that's going on over there, we think we got it bad here. They got it bad there as well.
It's worse over there.
And Sinn Féin, fucking wankers.
Commies.
Wankers.
They're just open borders commies.
Well, yes.
Globalist commies. They're just globalists. That's basically it. I've had this conversation before. The old left-right paradigm is now completely blown out of the water. I've had this conversation. Who do you think would have been the best prime minister in the 1960s, 1970s? And who would be the best leader of the opposition? Now, I said, I reckon the best prime minister we've never had was Enoch Powell, and the best leader of the opposition.
I knew you say that.
The best leader of the opposition we never got would have been Tony Benn. They were old school, pro-patriotic, anti-immigration, pro-Britain, anti-globalists, and that was in the 70s, late 60s and 70s. No, it was actually the people. Enoch Powell didn't get in because of his River of Blood speech. We got that idiot Edward Heath that signed us into the EU.
Yeah.
So basically, the rot started, in my opinion, in the late 60s and the 70s geopolitically, because everything was a feud between the unions, the hard right allied with the commie mindset, whereas the traditional working class blokes might have voted Labour at one point, and yet they thought, no, you got to the situation now where one of my former customers was a miner, lost his job in the 80s, and he says, Margaret Thatcher did some bad things and she did some good things. But essentially, basically, all the jobs were sent overseas, and now we're fucking just. Sorry, being a bit doomy, but we're in a managed decline. It's an inevitable consequence of
Hang on,
global.
Loafer, hang on. What was you going to say?
What I was going to say, Loafer, is what you've said. The worst thing that ever happened to this country is Margaret Thatcher, because what she did was sell our assets.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had businesses that were bringing money in to the government that they could use for everything else. We had an income. And I'm sorry, but the country has to be run like a company. It has to have an income so that you can spend it. Now, if it's not a return on businesses, it's tax. And
Yeah.
but from what's a penny from accounts, whatever her name is?
Rachel, the
Rachel,
accountant.
I haven't got a fucking clue.
Yeah.
She hasn't.
What we need in this country, and it's where I'm going to get on my high horse, Nigel, bless him, has the right idea.
All right, no need to shout.
Sorry, I'm Mike's all the way over there.
It can hear
Nothing
you.
wrong, listen, nothing wrong with being passionate. We all get passionate. But in coming back to you, Heather, I think if there was a vote now and Margaret Thatcher was alive now, she would get into power straight away, like that. She, I don't know.
But if you fucked the country, she fucked us up. She gave away our income.
Hang on a minute. If you remember back in the days, we're both at a certain age. We can remember these things, like the British Railways. They were shit, weren't they, back then?
Yeah.
And then they privatised it. It's the way they did it, though, was wrong. Like privatising the post office. Look how quickly the MPs and all those kind of people, and it was fucking insider trading. Snapped it all up.
It's all completely corrupt. Because what you end up doing when you privatise it, you privatise the profits, but you socialise the losses. So there's a ridiculous situation where Richard Branson couldn't afford to run the Great North Eastern Railway line between King's Cross, St Pancras and Edinburgh. He reneged on that deal and walked away from his franchise. The British state stepped in and actually ran it at a profit. And then they fucking started to reprivatise it again. So if you roll that out, and you can remember that post that campaign about British Gas, don't tell Sid.
Oh yeah,
it's like the railways now, especially with HS2. They're putting all this money into it, but the prices they're going to charge for the tickets, people ain't going to use it.
No, exactly. I mean, no, Roger, do you remember there was an article a couple of weeks ago, a few weeks ago, where it worked out cheaper for somebody from Cornwall to fly over to Spain?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, but they did book all first class,
all inclusive, and then fly over to, I think it's Carlisle or somewhere like that, to go and pick their car up.
But if you looked at the listings and the prices they gave, that was all booked first class.
Yeah. But go back to Heather with the Margaret Thatcher. I mean, right, so if you get, I don't want to fall out with you, Heather, and I like to have a debate with you, and this is bizarre. You're a little tiny bit older than me, and I had things like the YTS scheme when I was a kid, and stuff like that, and it all worked, and then do you think that Margaret Thatcher would allowed all these laws that the Labour government are coming in now with the Sharia law and all the other things, and the protests, after last year, after those poor little girls got slaughtered, do you think she would have, whose side would she have picked?
Sharia law would not have stood a chance.
Exactly. You got to say, I'm not pushing you. I'm just asking you for your valid opinion. when you look back on it now and then bring it to this forward times, where would you, if Margaret Thatcher was still alive and she could be voted in with her views, would you have voted her in now? That's what I'm asking.
I
Think about the
really
logically.
Depends on what manifesto they come up with.
Yeah. With
Yeah.
hindsight, looking back, she needed to make money. So what she did was sell every asset the country owned.
Asset stripping.
But they weren't working, were they? Those
No.
assets.
No. That doesn't matter that they weren't working. That's not the point. Once you sell them, you release your equity. You have nothing coming back. You've got a lump of money that you can do one thing with, but fuck all else. You sell it. You get rid of all your council homes. You sell those to the tenants because they want to buy. That the right to buy scheme, absolutely fabulous. But that money needs to then be reinvested into
Reinvested to build more houses. Yeah. I agree with you on that.
Happen. What she did was absolutely fantastic in principle, but she didn't go far enough. She sold everything and lost everything. So she got a lump of money and that was it.
The thing is,
you cannot go through life and go, oh look, I've got this bit of gold. I've got this bit of gold. I'll sell it. No.
I'm holding it.
Hang on a minute.
What you want to do is invest it, not sell it.
Guys, I'm going to call it. I just had to use my inhaler.
It's getting warmed up.
I've got a load of blood tests and pressures to take as well before I'm normally in bed by 9 o'clock.
Really?
Yeah.
Lucky bastard. At the moment, I don't know what's going on with me, but last Friday, I didn't have a drink or anything. I went to bed at 10 o'clock and I couldn't get up till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I woke up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
By 6 o'clock.
My hands and my feet were so hurting.
Boys, are you up for a Friday night?
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course I am.
Oh.
I am. Anyone else?
I am hoping, and this is only a inverted commas hope, I may be able to not have to go into the office on Friday, which will mean I will have that bit more time for myself and may be able to actually get myself together for Friday night. If you're up for Friday,
yeah, only part time.
If you're up for Friday night, I'll go out of my way to make sure I can do a live this Friday, and we can pick up from here, and we can have
What
a good
time
old chat about politics and shit, and where we think the country went wrong and how we should have fixed it.
Oh no, I'd like that actually. What time are you thinking? 7?
Yeah. She normally starts at 7.
Oh, do you know what, Heather? If you could do that, I'd like that because I like to come into on these channels like here. We're not arguing and screaming. We're talking and we're debating, and we're.
Well, she started doing them. She used to bill them as ladies' nights because we got a lot of ladies in the chat. So it used to be all the ladies. I used to sit in the background.
2 days' time, we'll have a political event.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
Right. Well, I'm going to call it, guys, because I've got a lot to do.
Word of warning. Just a word of warning, so you can hear my tone, you can see my face, you can hear my voice inflection, you can gauge my sincerity.
Oh shit! She'll open a panel.
Oh no, you're welcome, Lofa. Not a problem.
No,
welcome.
Yeah, it's fine.
Absolutely, 100%. Everybody will be welcome. The post will be the link will be out there for everybody to join. There will be the facial recognition shit for the initial.
I'm just
Friday night.
Roger, be careful on Twitter because it is an absolute minefield. If you thought Facebook, I like to call it fast.
Oh, I've been scanning through it today, mate. I've been having a look, believe me.
YouTube is highly censorious. You know that basically quite often it's not worth commenting.
Yeah. There's a lot that I don't. There's a lot of comments I've been getting that I ain't even bothered answering. So
just be careful on Twitter. Just be very, very, very careful. It's a minefield. So
I know, mate. I know.
Lofa. I have to be honest. Twitter or X, what you call it, is my go-to place at the moment. What's going on?
Who knows? But there are some
It's
very large
just a
accounts.
free-for-all.
There's
It's just a free-for-all.
there's some very, very, very large accounts that have grown really quickly from nowhere, and they're phishing scam accounts because basically you can generate revenue from clicks, likes, and comments just like you can on any other platform if you're monetized. And some of them are phishing accounts. They deliberately hyperbolize and they actually exaggerate news events and they put them out and people actually believe it's happening. There's quite a few of them, and there's a few people that I actually direct message on Twitter and I say, why are you reposting this person's account? It's deliberate slop. Somebody has actually tracked it down, the IP address, and actually figured out it's a bloke in India who is reposting stuff. And the guy actually reposted this stuff. It was allegedly, I don't know, allegedly when the Southport things blew up, some people got some information off Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. I'm old school, I call it Twitter. Some people reposted it. It went viral. And before you know it, that might have been slightly one way we actually energized people.
Well, it was proved that it was some of the ones in India that were pushing the riots.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there's one called Inevitable West. Stay well away from it.
Yeah, listen, guys, let Roger go. He needs to go.
I'm going to call it. Simon, Loafer, Steve, thank you very much for jumping up on the panel tonight.
Good night, Heather.
Everybody else in the chat, as always, thank you very much for dropping in.
You can have a little one.
Supporting the channel.
Boys, I'll see you Friday. It's boys' night this week.
I will be lurking somewhere on Heather's on Friday night.
Right, you take care, guys. Love Roger. Thank you very much for doing this whole team. I know you're tired and you need to sleep.
Love you both.
Loafer.
So as always,
mate.
And as always,
before I go, stay safe, stay strong, stay free. Respect, everybody.
See you later, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Good night.